What's going on, everybody? We are back in here once again with another live stream. Shout out to you guys for being in here, being involved, and being active on this channel. It's the first of the month, my ninjas. Yo, rent is due, mofos. Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the first of the month, so get up, get up, get up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the first of the month. Hey, we having a beautiful day. Shout out to Bone Thugs in Harmony. We are here in June. Holy moly. Holy cannoli. Holy free jolly. Wow, time flies by like that. We are at the start of the halfway point of the year. Oh my God. Becky, look at her butt. Holy, we got to enjoy ourselves, man. Live life, man. Shout out to the live gang, replay gang, watching this in the future. And of course, the Lurk Squad. Let me go ahead and check for any audio issues that may or may not be on my end. Mic check. Mic check. Mickety, mickety, mic check. Check. Mickety, mickety, mic. Sweet. So far, so good. No issues here.
Nope.
The train is operating smoothly. Boom. We got an update for item and god balance to review today. Tomorrow is Horus Day. Horus, not horse.
Nope.
Horus, as in the rightful heir. Ra's son. The man with the beautiful giant wings. The other chicken man, right? We're going to review the Tunetank update from this past Friday. And then we're just going to prepare for tomorrow. It won't be too long of a stream.
Nope.
So shout out to y'all that tune in. Let's go ahead and get started, man. We are in studio once again at the Titan Forge headquarters. We are here as a guest host, accompanied by Kilgoon, the MC. We got Caps once again, and Manny the Mannequin. Of course, we're up here as well. We are above Manny. Manny can't say much.
Nope.
So we will speak on his behalf. Actually,
nope.
We'll speak on our behalf, not his. We speak for ourselves and no one else. Let's go ahead and get started. He's like, oh, we're already live. We started. Caps looked like he got caught off guard.
Hello, chat. We are here on a Friday, and we're here to talk a little bit about what's coming in our next update. How you been doing today?
Pretty good. Can't complain. Can't complain.
What'd you do for lunch? Anything?
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet?
I still have to eat.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You should.
Well, I brought up a bad topic.
Well, it's not a bad topic. I just haven't eaten yet.
Yeah.
After this, I will. But.
Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna go through the kind of buffs and nerfs balance for this update.
I think that's not enough, though.
And then we're gonna go into kind of Q&A for the rest of the show. I'll say it's kind of there's a decent amount of balance, but a lighter balance patch this update because we're kind of talking about working on a few, other things in the background and didn't want to, put
future update,
too many balance changes into this update.
Yeah, this means the future update is going to be jam-packed with a lot more changes.
I think it's the general feel.
Yeah, I think there's a couple exciting things in here, but it was we didn't want to make like really sweeping changes. It's mostly light on item balance, if anything. So
cool.
Awesome.
Light on items, more god focus.
So we're gonna
unofficial design team. I am on the design team.
Caps is part of the design team. He is a designer. Caps is just the designer who I think most enjoys coming on Titan Talk. I don't know if enjoys is the right word. Tolerates coming on Titan Talk. I'm not joking.
Yeah, I don't think
or accepts.
I think Austin likes it very much, and I think, well, I mean, our new designer might soon.
Yeah, he's still
he's up for it. He's just new, so
yep.
You need to acclimate
tiger shirt for
yourself
Basta? No, I just grabbed my tiger
I have a
shirt
cat shirt.
Oh, look at us.
Actually.
Hey.
Sweet. Well,
I don't have any.
I'm going to pull up the handy dandy desktop here.
The handy dandy desktop. Let's go. Shout out to Isaiah. That the saying will not die.
Nope.
Keep the saying alive. A handy dandy recipe. There you go. Press the button.
We'll talk about some balance things. If I can find the button.
Let's do this. Oh dear Lord. Okay. Flashbang. Hang on. Let me turn off my lights. I'll be right back. Haha, okay, there we go. We look better now. Not so bing, ears ringing in ish, you know? Pele got another nerf. Holy moly, okay. Hot Push got nerfed too. Okay, aspect of Obsidian. Pele no longer gains fuel from item procs dealing damage to her. Fuel gained from taking god damage is reduced from 10 to 8. That's our aspect. Pele, not Pele. Puch base. His passive, Hollow Soul.
Nope.
The Hollow Ground. Heal reduced from 4% of max health to 3%. I guess that's from him picking up his corpses. His 3. Fleeting Breath. Damage and scaling reduced from 30 to 70 plus 20% intelligence per tick. 2, 24, 56. Oh, damn, severely in the late game. Not so much in the early game. It's minus 4% intelligence down to 16. His ultimate, damage reduced from 55 to 95 plus 18% intelligence to 50 to 82, plus 15% intelligence. Cooldown increased to 110 seconds. So it was 100. Added an extra 10. And then aspect of the Death March. That got protection shred reduced from half. I can't read that properly. I'll let it play.
Awesome. So coming up first, once again, a frequent flyer on the nerf notes. We have Pele aspect.
Yes.
Can't be killed, Bane. Still an issue.
Once again,
he just keeps getting hit with the stick.
The aspect of Obsidian will no longer gain fuel from item procs dealing damage to her, and the fuel gained from taking god damage is reduced from 10 to 8.
This one, I think, is what's it called? Mystical Mail. That would be the one item proc dealing damage to her, or it could be that. Then it could be like Hydras and those items.
So something to note about this, I don't know if people knew that this worked with item procs, but how it worked with item procs. So this is like a pretty huge...
This is a pretty massive nerf.
This is a pretty huge nerf. So item procs on Pele, when a god hit you, it counted as a separate instance of damage of god damage. So normally if a god hits you with an ability, you gain 10 fuel, right? If they hit you with an ability and they had Soul Reaver, you gain 20. So it's a huge nerf for just fuel gains, and then also we're reducing the fuel gain on her. So
she's been very good for a long time. We've nerfed her a lot of times. Curious to see where she ends up after this, but hopefully this is a healthier place for her to be. Coming up next, we have... Oh, I should hide our cameras. I'm sorry. People can see it. We have some nerfs to Hot Push. How's Hot Push been doing in this update so far?
Okay, let me see. His protection shred reduced from 1 to 7. It is now 1 to 5. They got rid of the half-seas. And dropped this one down to 1. Oh, in late game. His late game was really potent then. Hey, good morning, brother. We live. Pele again got nerfed. Still too good. I'll Punch getting the stick too. He's getting nerfed. Base I'll Punch, and then a little bit of his aspect.
Especially base Opwatch, quite a bit good. Aspect has been kind of iffy, but I think high level it's been doing pretty decently. And I know there's some high level players that think it's like really good. Yeah. So we're doing some changes to it. So
you just need to get adjusted to the body pickups. That's it for the most part. What ability do you level up? Certainly not the 2. So you probably go 1, then 3, then 1 again, then 2, then your ult. And then by then you have a lot of bodies picked up. So you can use your 2 more effectively, like in the late game or longer games. Your account at work is locked. No, brother, no. That's not good.
Hi.
Hello.
Well, the passive Hollow Ground, we're reducing the heal from 4% of max health to 3% of max health. The ability 3, Fleeting Breath, the damage and scaling are going down from 30 to 70 plus 20%, to intelligence to 24 to 56 plus 16% intelligence.
What's up?
And on the ult, the damage is going down from 55 to 95 plus 18%. To 50 to 82 plus 15%. And the cooldown is going up to 110. Do you remember what it was before?
90.
90. Okay, so 20 second cooldown.
Yeah. Even though in the description it said 10 seconds. We saw it in game. 10 seconds. Like, what? It was 90. I thought it was 100. Had a pretty short cooldown. Damn, 90 seconds. Yeah. We back.
It's quite a lot. And then aspect of the Death March, the ability to the Wraith Call, the protection shred is going to go down from 1 to 7 to 1 to 5.
Yes.
So should be doing less damage overall, having the ult up a little bit less frequently, and then in the aspect form a little bit less free shred. Awesome. Cabrakan aspect. This is one that
Cabroken.
Would you say cabroken or just?
Oh no.
Sorry, has been a point of discussion recently.
It's always cabroken.
Yeah, a lot of people have been talking about it. A lot of people are running it. He's especially going mid a lot, doing pretty well there. So
he does a lot of damage, man.
Down a little bit, because he's. I know people have been saying he's pretty frustrating to fight.
So what we're doing here with the aspect of the Rotund Jotun.
Base health per level, and protection reduced by 8%. Oh my gosh. Tremors. Yep, it's the tick damage, dude. I'm telling y'all. He has a lot of AoE damage. And he pops it up super frequently, too. Reduced from 9 to 25 plus 15 strength and 20% intelligence. It is now 5 to 21. 4 across all ranks. Plus 15% strength and intelligence. So they reduced the intelligence and then the base damage. Okay.
We are reducing the base health per level, and protections by 8%. So it'll be easier to kill. And the tick damage on Tremors is going down from 9 to 25 plus 15% strength and 20% intelligence to 5 to 21 plus 15% strength and intelligence.
So the intelligence build is definitely the one that's like outstanding right now for him. So we took down the intelligence a little bit on the Tremors, like the scaling there, plus the base damage. So
awesome. Well, we'll see how that affects Cabrakan and his aspect. Also on the list of
he's been a bad dog,
causing people to be upset this patch is Cerberus. And we think a lot of this came from
his 2 reduced protection debuff from 5 to 13. It is now 3 to 9.
From the free protection shred that he got, which was quite potent, quite a lot.
It's quite a lot, especially at max level or like max rank. It's because it's 3 stacks. So the potential of it is essentially like 39 shred, right? So we're taking that down quite a bit.
Yeah. So a little bit less free shred on your breath, which should reduce some of the seeming burst damage that he can do.
Yeah. So I think shred overall is pretty high right now. There's a lot of characters with shred that are all popular. So shred is across the board kind of getting some nerfs here. So
I see.
Chalk getting a little buff. Rain Dance.
Let's go. My man Chalk. He gains 9 to 15. Oh, you can increase The dampening during Rain Dance? This only applies to non-aspect, so his base form. 9 to 50. I think that's great. I think that's great. I like playing Chalk. This is going to make him even more unkillable now. And by that same token, more annoying to play against. Which, hey, I'll take it.
This is a fun buff.
This is a fun buff. He's going to get 9 to 15 dampening during Rain Dance. This only applies to non-aspect.
So during Rain Dance, you can probably max out your dampening. You probably just need to get 2 items. If that. The max is 45, right? Or did they lower the max stacks? I don't remember.
Now, from a thematic perspective, it's raining. He might be getting a little damp.
Yeah, he's damp.
It kind of makes sense.
It does.
Yeah, so this ability is pretty good against auto attackers already because you can double stack the attack speed reduction. You can throw it out, deploy it, then use your 3. And if you're standing in it, they have way less attack speed. Yeah. But it's not very good against anybody who's poking you with abilities constantly.
Yeah.
And we feel like the non-aspect version of Chalk is pretty weak right now. So he's getting actually quite a bit of dampening late game and early game 9%. So
yeah. So kind of a fun change, and just again, like we're trying to find some of the underperforming gods and finding ways to bring them up, and some of the overperforming gods and finding ways to bring them down. And one of the underperforming gods here that is on this list,
this is a bit spicy,
is Odin, who's getting
Odin, our man Odin. Fight me! My raven shall feast on your eyeballs and entrails. I love that line. His raven shout. While the shield has HP, Odin, that's his 2. Odin now pulses 10 to 32 plus 5% intelligence and 4% strength physical damage every second around himself. Interesting. I think that's pretty cool. Kind of like a pseudo Kukulin 2. You know? You can pair this up with Mystical Mail. Even better. Yeah. You're going to be doing more pulse damage when you pair it with Mystical Mail. That's only while the shield it has HP, right? So sometimes it may not even be a second.
Nope.
That it lasts. So you're gonna have to be mindful of when you pop your 2.
Kind of not a new 2, but a change to his 2 that's quite large. Yeah. So Raven Shout. Now, while the shield has hit points, Odin will pulse damage around himself, 10 to 32 plus 5% intelligence plus 4% strength as physical damage.
Yes, every second.
So it's kind of like another mystical type thing.
Yeah, it's a mystical bit. It's sort of mystical. It's so this is like just sort of a weird side note, but literally like all of Odin's AoEs are the same size.
Yeah.
So this one's matching that.
Okay.
But so it's basically, while this is tuned to be about 10% of his shield's max health, I think. So you're doing about 40% because it's one every second for 4 seconds. So you get about 40% of your max health shield if you pulse the whole thing. Yeah. I think realistically, Odin struggles a bit to trade in lane because if you bird bomb somebody and do max damage to them, you just don't have a shield.
Yep.
If you try and hold your shield up, they're just going to break it. You're not going to get any damage value out of it.
Yep.
So we wanted to give him something that lets him trade a little bit stronger, gives him a little bit more wave clear. It might also help in the jungle. I know he's a bit more popular there. It gives him a bit more clear there. So this is just essentially a way to give him a little bit more clear, a little bit more trading power. Late game, the damage is not high enough that you're probably going to want to.
Yeah, like you're not building around it.
You're probably going to bird bomb people anyway if you're looking for damage late game, right? So it's just a bit extra for lane. Let him lean a bit more. So
cool. And then we have Kali nerfs. Her incense.
Instant. That's her 2. No, that's her 3. Strength buff reduced from 10 to 30 is now 8 to 24. So in the late game, I got a sneeze coming. Hang on. Never mind. It's gone. It left. Intelligence buff reduced from 14 to 42 is now 12 to 32. Really getting hit on the late game. Not so much in the early game. Bonus scaling per rupture stack reduced from 12% intelligence and 10% strength to 10% intelligence and 8% strength. Okay.
The strength buff and intelligence buff that she's getting will be reduced. So the strength is going from 10 to 30 down to 8 to 24. The intelligence is going from 14 to 42 down to 12 to 32.
Yep.
And the bonus scaling per rupture stack is being reduced from 12.5 intelligence and 10% strength to 10% intelligence and 8% strength.
Yes. This goes up to, you can think of this as, there's 5 stacks per rupture. Mm-hmm. So you multiply that change by 5 essentially to get it to go down. So instead it's 50% intelligence now.
Okay.
So, and it's 40% strength, right? So
okay. So it should bring Kali maybe a little bit into line.
Yeah, I think she's another character that well, I guess it's technically not the int build. She's running like a hybrid Transcendence Book of Thoth build that's very high damage on the incense, and then they go poly and hit you with the proc. So she's basically blinking in and trying to get a one shot with all of her stuff up with like combat blink and stuff. So where this is a way to hit her immediate burst, hopefully we'll take her down a bit there. So.
Cool. And then Cuckoo is getting some buffs here. Mm-hmm. The base version of Cuckoo only. Okay. The Zephyr scaling is increasing from 80 to 85%, and the Slipstream scaling is increasing from 80 to 90%.
Yes. So that again, this is just nudging Cuckoo up a little bit. I think people think he's not very pickable, but he does have quite a bit of scaling in general. So it's one of those we're bringing it up a little bit. Seeing how it plays out, we might end up buffing him more later.
So. A little more damage on the 1 and the 2. So interesting to see how that plays out. And then Ratatoskr, a little bit of a nerf, I guess.
It's a fix.
Fix/nerf. Briskberry Acorn will no longer allow a cooldown reset when it hits a marked target. So you'll only be able to get an extra dash by dashing through a god once.
Yes. So and this does, if you hit like 2 targets and one of them isn't marked, you still get the refresh. Okay. So if you hit this is really to stop, like, there's one target I'm fighting and I dash them 3 times.
Yes.
You can only dash them twice now. But if there's like a group of people, you can still get 3 dashes if you're only hitting one of them at a time, right? So.
Yep.
Interesting. Wasn't that always the case though? Because they said you can only get an extra dash per 1 god that you hit. Here, we were getting 3. Damn, y'all were getting away with that age. That's wild. Oh, they fixed it.
Awesome. And then items. We have some changes to Leather Cowl. Okay. It will now be giving 1.5 mana regen.
Yep.
And Hunter's Cowl will be giving 2.5 mana regen.
Yep.
So maybe a little bit more of a viable starter.
Yeah. I think when you play these right now, you just run out of mana really quick.
Yeah.
So we wanted to give them a little bit to keep you in lane a bit more.
Cool. And lastly, the Staff of Cosmic Horror. We fixed an issue where the Staff of Cosmic Horror wasn't applying its Echo bonus damage when at higher Echo than Intelligence.
Yes. So this is another one we're looking
more
at.
Damage, then.
I think Echo in general we want to look at a bit more. But as it is currently, Staff was only giving its Echo bonus damage when you had both equal. It just wasn't doing it when you had higher Echo than Intelligence. So we're fixing that. Okay. It'll make it a bit better as an item for sure. So
cool. Awesome. Well, that is our balance update for this patch.
Wow, that's it? I was like 2 minutes. 10 minutes. No. Yeah, just about 10 minutes. Oh my gosh. That's a tiny update. Okay. Hey, I'm cool with it, man. I'll still ride the boat. I'll still stick with the train. Pretty sure next patch or the one after that is going to be a massive one. So, hey, this is just the calm before the storm, as the saying goes.
Us, and Manny, of course.
Yep.
Hey, we back now.
And yeah, we're excited to see how the balance plays out. As I said, we're talking about and working on some other things here in the background.
Yeah.
We have quite a few things in progress. I will say one thing worth calling out is that Atlas aspect will remain off for this update. I believe
yes.
is the current plan. We are.
I never got to play it.
Nope.
That's okay. It is what it is. I'll just maybe watch some videos of it sometime. I wanted to play it myself, though. It's not happening.
Nope.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll be
continuing
fine.
to work on,
we'll be fine, chat.
A little bit of a bigger change to it. It's still going to be the same core identity that you're used to, but just something that took a little bit longer to get in than the few days we had from last weekend to this patch, given the holiday week.
We had a holiday week. We had jury duty hit us. We kind of, there was a lot of things going on, but also we just have bigger changes that we want to do later. So it's kind of, we knew this was going to be a light balance patch anyway.
So awesome. With that, I think ready for
Q&A time, chat. See what you got.
I messed up. I meant to say higher echo than cooldown reduction. Yes.
Higher echo than cooldown.
I said intelligence. My bad.
I will change that on the notes too. Awesome. Sweet. So that's what we have for this update. And we can take some questions now. Will there be a roadmap next week? Not next week. I think it would be the week after next is probably the current cadence, because it should be probably the patch before, or the show before Bastet's patch note show.
I'm not sure when we usually do it, but
it should be next week.
Yeah, Bastet would be the last one they have knowledge of.
So probably a week from Monday would be my guess.
Next week.
Why did we nerf?
Oh, this was on Friday, so by next week, the guy was probably talking about this week. For us, it is indeed next week, so next Monday.
Rat is terrible, and that was the only thing keeping him even okay.
I don't think he's terrible right now, but also that was just kind of, it was a bug. It didn't work the way it was supposed to. It didn't work the way it was. When I looked at the actual ability itself and what was going on in the ability, it was not meant to do that in the first place. So he was marking people with an effect that was supposed to tell you can't dash this person again, but it just didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So I fixed that. If he needs buffs after this, it's not like we're against doing that, but I don't necessarily agree with the sentiment that this is the only reason he's good right now.
Yeah, I think that very frequently when we release a god,
triple dashing the same target when you're alone, it's pretty potent, man. I just want a whole fucking mile when given a small inch.
Weak or underwhelming, there is a persistent sentiment that the god is weak or underwhelming.
Yeah,
long after
in general. Yeah,
and again, we'll see. What the numbers play out and how people feel about it once this goes live. But
yeah, I'm not looking to kill Rat.
That's not
I want him to be a pickable jungler for sure. But it's just there was a bug here. I'd rather fix it.
Yeah.
And see how it lies after, and then we can buff him later if he needs it.
Can I show the new item art in this update? I don't think I'm updated in a way that I could do that. But there is new item art.
You'll get it when the patch drops.
I believe there's a new icon for Midgardian Mail. Let me look at my list here.
It looks cool. It's a classic.
You can take one while I'm pulling this up. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Buy me some time, aka buy me some time.
Let's see.
Save me.
Who should I talk to?
Okay, I got it. If you...
I was gonna
go for it.
Guan Yu. I am looking at Guan Yu. I think he's one of the. There's a few warriors that are kind of low right now. Chalk and Odin were definitely the lowest two. So we wanted to give them like some changes. I think Odin's is a bit spicier. We'll see how that lands, but we are looking at like a few of the lower warriors. So I think Guan Yu's there. I think Ama still we might need to do a bit more for.
Not our man Guan Yu.
And Bologna is also one that's not doing the best. She's doing okay, but like not as good as like the top warriors for sure. Yeah. So we're still looking at all the warriors essentially.
Hey, I'm no baloney player.
Nope. So the new icons that are coming in this update are Midgardian Male, Bull Drum, Damaru, Kinetic Cuirass, and Mercury's Teleria.
Yeah, I've seen the icons are really cool.
Those are the icons that are going to be in this update. Yep. So I don't have a good way to show it, but there are they are coming in this update.
Yeah, we
man, y'all ninjas are patient, man.
And I'm just
once you see it, maybe because y'all forget, that's why you're asking for it. You see it on Friday. Oh, this is what it look like. Oh, it looks cool. Oh, it looks bad. Hey, here comes Tuesday. Oh, they got new icons. I didn't know about that. When you asked for it on Friday. Oh no, it's redundant to get it early, man. That's just my opinion, dog. I can just wait and see it. Be excited for it on Tuesday, seeing it the first time, and not be spoiled about it.
Nope.
I just love spoilers, man. That ain't me. I'm built different.
Not updated or logged into the Steam on this computer. Next week with Bastet PTS coming out. Bastet PTS is not next week. That would be the week after next. So this week was Horus PTS with, preview of Bastet. 2 weeks from now will be the next PTS.
Next week for us. Yo, the beginning of the month is on a Monday. Pretty cool. Let me see when's the last day? When's the last day of the month? It is on a Tuesday. It's the 30th. Okay. We're in June, baby. In June already.
How do we feel about Aspect Rat right now? I think he's a little weak right now. He probably needs some attention. I agree with that.
With Bastet's release, this will mark 12 gods in a row that have not had hybrid scaling. Why is this, and will this change at all? I think our philosophy on hybrid scaling has kind of changed since the early days of Smite 2.
Yeah.
He's a hybrid abuser.
Go into more detail, but
I think over time that has just been changing in general. But I think it's kind of hard, right? So if you give every character hybrid scaling, right, and you say all of them have hybrid scaling, and we just say intelligence makes abilities better and strength makes auto attacks better, I think a lot of characters just start building intelligence, right? Like a lot of any burst character is now just an intelligence character. Like any auto attacker is just not, right? And then it's a question of, well, then do you take the strength off entirely scaling wise? And then it's kind of like there's a whole like hybrid's kind of like just a weird. It feels like to make a hybrid character feel correct, like to make them feel like that implementation correct. And this is kind of where Pon and I landed in, like, what would feel right is that you need some kind of playstyle differentiation. And that's kind of what Newt got. Like, I think Newt might have been our last hybrid scaler, actually,
maybe,
now that I'm thinking about it. But Newt gets very different bonuses when she's going strength and intelligence, so she gets a little bit of a different play style out of it. And I think there's opportunities for that still, and I think we still want to do it maybe sometimes, but it's not something that we want to have on like every character.
Yeah.
Whereas I think initial Smite 1, it was
you have to be selective with these hybrid things. Plus, with the hybrids, you can double dip. And it makes them that much more, not necessarily difficult to balance, although maybe. I don't know. I'm not a balancer.
Nope.
So you want to stay away and clear from having a lot of hybrid intelligent or hybrid scaling characters. That's me. I'm pretty cool with just having it be strength or intelligence, and then a little here or there sprinkle of a mixture. This guy was like, "It's been 12 characters now in a row." Golly, man, you like a pocket watcher? Holy moly! Maybe he's just curious. I don't know.
Initial Smite 2. I don't know why I just said one.
Yeah, you're good.
I think Initial Smite 2, it was kind of like, let's just kind of do it on every. It was sort of Wild West. We were kind of, we can do hybrid scaling now. Let's see what we can do with it. So there's probably characters that we should revisit and not have hybrid scaling on. There's characters that scale on hybrid in very strange ways that feels wrong, right? Yeah. So
it's more like it's a tool that we want to use where it makes sense.
Yeah,
to enable some interesting new gameplay.
Yep.
When it's, just something that we're shoving in there to have it. It doesn't. Where can
make it mean something? Make it carry weight. Have it be impactful, not just watered down by having it saturated due to everybody having it. Dog. That's just lame.
Be doing that anymore.
Yeah, it just feels odd doing that. There's some characters where I think it was pretty successful. I think Newt is a really good example of it. I think Tsukiyomi has a pretty interesting split. I think
Sun Wukong does interesting things, but there are some problems.
Yeah, it feels. I think Sun Wukong's one that feels a little strange.
Yeah.
And I think Neath is one that's like, it's good. I don't know if I dislike Neath, but I also don't know if I like Neath. So it's like I'm a bit mixed on it. But I think at least hers, you're emphasizing very different. Like you're looking for weave pops, right, instead of just like burst on your abilities. So I also think when you have a hybrid scaler, a lot of them do just turn into I build every hybrid item that exists.
Yeah.
Unless there's like a real differentiation. So
is Mulan on the table for some love, or maybe a rework to her now that her double proc bug got patched out? I think that she's, based on our data, she's still doing pretty well. This last time I looked at her, like I don't think that there was a couple Mulan enthusiasts / propagandists in chat that are very, very frequently advocating for Mulan things, but I don't think that she's in a terrible place right now.
I think data says that Mulan's really not that weak, and I think she generally does better than most of the warriors. There is the question of like, okay, well, are warriors doing well in general, right? And that's a different question entirely, but it's like, it's a question of like, that lane, we might need to make some changes just overall, but I don't know if like Mulan specifically is significantly weaker by any metric we've seen.
Yeah.
And she feels better than a lot of the bottom warriors right now. So
I'm down for a Mulan upgrade though, an update.
There's a couple of people posting about high CPU usage. I have not heard about that other than from you two. I've not seen anything that has changed CPU usage on our side, but something I can ask the programmers about.
Yeah, we have been looking at performance a bit more too, I believe. I think
we have been looking at some performance things, but I just
looking into some. So
I'll mention the high CPU usage thing, just see if there's anything that could be causing that.
Maybe it's your own setting. Maybe.
Can we do a jury duty episode of Titan Talk? I talked enough about jury duty on Wednesday.
We had a moment
explaining jury duty to the non-Americans.
Have you considered making Cupid stronger than all the other gods? I hadn't. We should do that.
Yeah, that's a great idea, Kellen. We should definitely do that.
Make him better.
Yes.
Just because.
When the Bird Bomb's pretty bad, why wasn't that part of the kit that was buffed? I mean, I don't know if the Bird Bomb itself is really bad. I think it's that the full health bonus is really decent and the rest of it isn't. we could look at it a bit more, but I wasn't looking to significantly change like his bird bomb damage or kit. It was more of a how can we help, because I think his problem is bigger than that, right? I think if bird bomb damage is really, really high, he's just gonna come in lane, bird bomb you, or he just won't go to lane. He'll just be the jungler and then bird bomb a mid laner for a billion damage, right?
Yep.
So this was more a targeted change of if he's trying to trade in lane, he kind of struggles to do that while keeping his shield.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So
is there a design choice that the community forced you to implement that you would revert if you could? I would say I don't feel like the community has really like forced us to do anything. I think that generally speaking, we have our own thoughts and our own data about where the game is, what kind of things we need to be prioritizing, what the big problems are, and then community feedback usually either confirms that or points out issues with the way we were thinking, right? And I don't think there's ever been a time where we're like, darn it, the community made us do this, and we're just like, oh man, we missed this, and this is a bad experience for players, and we need to do something to react to this promptly. You know? So I think it's maybe just a different, perspective. Do I need you to drop specs for the CPU thing? If you want to post them, you can. I'm not sure exactly if that'll help. I'm just gonna talk to programming and see what they've seen.
You'd have to be like an inexperienced game studio in order for that scenario to come to fruition. These guys have been in the game for 11 years, man. I don't think that that's going to be happening anytime soon, if ever.
What's the reasoning behind giving Chalk dampening on his 3 rather than power reduction like you had in Smite 1? Dampening is for him specifically, not a debuff on the people around him. So if you were to get like raw sniped from out of range, you're gonna take less damage from that than you would have in Smite 1, right? So it helps him in a different way. You get more ability reduction, and I think he does have already a decent amount of rain is good against people who are auto attacking you already. So
I'm cool with it.
I had one. I looked down to make a note, and now I lost it. Add a rune system so we can tweak a pre-build to have different base stats at the start of each match on each character. So this is one of those things that I think sounds great to a lot of people, but speaking from experience, this is a system that probably less than 5% of the player base would interact with. Like in Paladins, we had very, like, there was a system in that game where you built decks of cards, which were basically kind of like a rune system, where it was like you would have different points in the different cards that gave you different abilities and different passive stats. And like a vanishingly small percentage of players ever interacted with the system or created their own build. I think the runes are like a good system for ultra high-end theory crafter players. Like the top maybe 1% is probably making their own builds.
Or a different game.
The top like 5% are probably Googling builds and copying those. And I really think that the vast majority of people are just going to like click the auto rune system. And
the majority of casuals will probably just take whatever's automatic.
Yeah. And I mean, like, thinking about, like, another way to think about it too is just like, nobody wants to go to the effort of customizing a god card for each god that they play. Like, that's too much work. And now it's like, and you also need to customize a rune card for each god that you're playing. I just don't think that that's something that most people really want to do.
Nope.
I think that having aspects which give you a smaller choice that often...
Dude, that would make the game completely different. Like, would it even be Smite 2 MOBA?
Nope.
It'd be a whole different game, man. Sounds like you're trying to change the game to have it be like something you've played before.
There's a bigger change. It's like an easier choice to make in the lobby that has more clearly defined pluses and minuses, is probably just a better system for a game like us.
Yeah. I agree with that pretty much. So
just hearing them talk about the whole rune thing from Paladins, I'm just like, brother, what? That just a whole lot of brand new information that new players are not going to want to learn.
Nope.
It's a minutia of people who would even be interested in that sort of thing. My guy. Case in point, you're the only one who brought that up. You're the only one who would probably even look at that. The rest of the players,
nope.
Nah, man. We just want to get our game in. We want to brawl. And we want to go next or go home. That's it. That's it. Not spending too much time doing all this other ish just to confuse us later on. Nah, brother.
Nope.
Get me into game. I'll do my ish. I'll get out. Bam. Get me into another one. Bam. Bam, bam, bam. Get as many games in as possible. And then I can get out. You know. That's just me, though. Plus, it wouldn't be the same game anymore.
Nope.
I play this game because of how it is currently right now. Adding that would completely change it, and it may make me lose interest. I'm like, I really don't care about that, man. And if they really make it or try to push for it and make it a core part of the game, you'll probably lose a lot more people than you would gain. So the ROI on that is just, it's dookie. Nah, I don't agree with it. Nor do I really like it either. So. I will stand against you, chatter.
The problem with Paladins was the card system was out of game and not in game. So that's the card system was, you still picked it at the beginning of the game in the first few seconds of being loaded into the game. Like, you were presented with, I think, your 6 builds that you had saved or whatever, and there were like 3 pre-saved builds because we found that nobody was making their own builds and was just losing because they weren't using any builds. So it's like you had to set up your card builds out of game. But that's true for most games that I'm aware of with rune systems. You're setting them up in the match lobby or in the client, not in the game itself.
Like the runes or talent systems you generally have to do pre-game.
I don't even know. I haven't played any of that ish.
Nope.
Doesn't really sound all that interesting to me either. Plus, you just provide a lot more information to the player, and then you get into the conundrum of paralysis by analysis. You're like, oh, there's so many things right in front of me. Wow, what do I choose? And you end up choosing nothing, and it's a wrap. Nah, man. It's going to be way too much of BS, tedious work that it's not worth even getting into, in my opinion.
Doing them in-game is... I mean, that's just a secondary item.
It's just items then.
It's items again. But yeah, I think runes also are just they're tough because I do think you run into that situation where maybe the very, 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 very top are doing something different with them, and even then, it's not necessarily true. Like, if you've ever watched like a high level player like playing a game like that, very often they are just they're playing, and then when they see a teammate do something wrong, they're like, you didn't take this, and it's like, okay. Like
it becomes another aspect of the meta to enforce.
Yeah, it becomes a meta thing even there. I mean, eventually you get to the people who are so high up that nobody will question it, right? They're like, when you're the absolute top of the top, everybody just trusts whatever you're doing, you've got a good idea. But if you're anywhere below that, it's like, you haven't thought this through. I know better, right? So it's not that
he goes,
it's not that it's like necessarily just a toxic thing. It's more just it's a huge bit of extra work for something that I don't think most people would engage that much with, and those that do, there's not a huge swing with.
Nope.
I think like very, very, very engaged players would mess with it a lot, maybe. But
you'd have to have like the supertism to get into that ish,
man. Any reason that Midgardian Mail doesn't have the movement speed slow it had in Smite 1? I think we just felt like that was unneeded in the Smite 2 landscape. I don't know if you have more insight into
it is needed.
The movement speed slow on Midgardian Mail.
It is.
It's frustrating, basically. It's
there you go.
It's I think there's several items that are kind of like that, right? Where it's like it's a bit of frustration that I think we don't like, because movement speed is one of those buffs that you feel really fast.
That's true. And yet I don't think that many players even use that item.
Nope.
Like, as it is, players don't even read what these items do, what abilities for the gods, what they do, how the synergy between gods and items is. They just want to plug and play. Tell me what I need to do, and then I'll just go. They're not going out of their own volition trying to seek this information out.
Nope.
Like, what does this thing do? And what does this thing do? And have to read every single item, every single description for each item, and then each ability.
Nope.
People don't do that ish, man. They don't read. They don't like to read. They just want to plug in, play, and get out. That's it. Doing as minimal work as possible. So I disagree that it is not needed. I think it is needed because a bunch of motherfuckers out here are fast as hell. Right? And how are we going to counteract that when we don't really need, like, as a frontliner? Like, why do you really want to build pathfinding? Huh? But if they hit you, bam! You got a shot, an opportunity at catching them or delaying them. It's much more useful as a frontline item, right? It can be a lot more impactful. Removing it, you just killed like the main identity of the item. Like, that's why I got it. You want to basic attack me? Come on then. Please do it. You're going to be slowed. You're going to be punished for it. And my allies will take you out, dog. That was the best part about it.
To skip through them.
Come on. You were just there to be super annoying against the attackers, auto attackers primarily. Then those that would follow up with some basic attacks after having their abilities on cooldown. I think that was great. Now it's gone. R.I.P. Midgardian Mail. Now it's just an anti-attack speed. People are still going to be moving fast as fuck. You're never going to catch them.
Nope.
Good luck. We need to bring Horrific. Now that you just cut Midgardian Mail at the knees, we need to bring back Horrific. We need a way to slow down all these turbo boosting characters, man. They move so fast, you can't even catch up to them.
Nope.
Like, how are you this fast, brother? Like, you barely have one item that's movement speed related, or you have none, and then you're like, they just get away. At least that's what I've experienced.
And losing it because you hit somebody feels worse. Like, I think those items in general are already going to have frustration. Like, Nemean is going to have some level of frustration on it because it's the feeling of like, I'm doing something correctly, I'm hitting them, and I'm getting punished for it, right? I think an always on thing that slows you when you hit people is very frustrating. And I know
maybe you could have turned it into an active item, you know, have it not completely remove that slow portion of it, just have it be activated for a certain amount of time and then it be on cooldown, right? Was that not something that could have been done, possible? That would have been a great active item to have, you know? And then it would have been situational. Because they were probably thinking, oh, once it comes back, everybody's going to be using it because it's a hot new item. And then everyone's going to be like, oh my gosh, this item is OP. I can't move. I can't do ish. The slow is way too egregious. Like, boo, this item sucks. They don't know what they're doing. And just get hate for it. When people don't even use that item that much to begin with. Today's a chill day for you, brother. Hey, okay. Can you get your account unlocked? Pretty sure you're working on that, though.
There's probably some people that are going to be like, well, you've released other frustrating things. And it's like, yeah, I think sometimes things can be frustrating, but I think there's like different levels. And sometimes we can cross that line, right? Like we can make that mistake. Atlas, I think, is one of those where it's like we want to change what is most frustrating about him. That's why we're holding him off a bit longer.
Damn, I'll never get to play it then. That's cool, man. Didn't they even do that for Nemean too? Because originally Nemean was always active at all times, right? So then they made it into an active item. So once you see the purple spikes, you don't attack. Because then you won't get the reflective damage back at you. Right? Then why couldn't they do that for Midgardian Male? I'm just saying, man. I like the item a lot. It was great as a frontliner. And now they just killed it at the knees.
I was just getting a picture of that Ishtar bug description, so I didn't lose it. Plans to develop APIs. Tracker lacks a lot of data. So I would say there is some data that we are comfortable sharing externally and some data that we are not. Currently, we don't have a separate database to run an API off of. We have a few trusted partners who have access kind of to our essentially our live database. And if they did things wrong, they could, impair the game.
Ruin the game.
So we only have a few trusted partners that are doing that right now. We may build out an API at some point, but just not something that we can easily do right now, given the fact that everything just lives in kind of the main databases.
That's cool. I understand that.
Bug Hurt can't hit Upwash corpses in the past month. I think we fixed that, right?
Hurt, yes, I did fix that.
So I'll be fixing that
for this patch. Yeah, that's just part of the bug fixes.
You're gonna hit Upwash? Interesting.
Would we ever consider giving Hades a remodel so he matches his brothers a bit more? No, there's a vocal community who does not like the design of Smite Hades, but Smite Hades has looked like Smite Hades for a long time, and there are also a lot of people who really like Smite Hades. Smite Hades is always been a very highly played god. We've used him on box art and advertising in the past because he is a design that most players do really like. As I noted, there are a few people who are very vocally opposed to his design. I know that he does not look like his brothers look in Smite, but it's one of those older designs that a lot of people do really like. And if there is a unique Smite approach to a god's art that people like, then we aren't necessarily going to throw that away, to change it.
We're the minority. Excellent answer. Excellent answer. In other words, let me see, what sound effects can I use? Where is it? In other words, I'll say it. Well, I mean, I won't say it myself.
Nope.
I'll have someone else say it. Relay the sentiment that I'm understanding from this.
Shut your bitch ass up!
There we go. In other words, that. All you minority player haters.
Shut your bitch ass up!
That's right. There is a human Hades skin out there for you all that don't know. I don't even think it's that popular either.
Nope.
So, to be saying, oh, he needs a remodel to be more human. There's a human skin out there. I want to see what the numbers are. Is it more popular than the base Hades skin? Or any of the other skins? Because there is a human Hades. Alright, I thought he looked okay. You know? There is a Hades skin. Just saying. Look it up. Then you'll be satisfied with that. At least you should. But the minorities are like, no. No. He needs to be human all the time. I shouldn't have to get a skin to play him as a human.
Nope.
Y'all just losers at that point, man. Speed it up here.
Why does Hunter's Call give movement speed and not pathfinding?
Why does what?
Why does Hunter's Call give movement speed and not pathfinding? So it probably predates pathfinding, and then we just haven't changed all sorts of movement speed to pathfinding.
Yeah.
Also, for some items, like some things do just give movement speed still. I don't know if that's one of the ones where we feel like it is better giving movement speed than pathfinding, or if it's just one that we haven't gotten back to.
Yeah, I mean, pathfinding is essentially, it's essentially out of combat movement speed, which would make Leather Cal a bit worse in some cases. Yeah. I'm not necessarily against it, but I don't necessarily think everything that is movement speed needs to become pathfinding. So
that's one of the reasons to get it. That's why I get it. I like the movement speed.
Thoughts on adding a game mode where you have special augments and items? That could be a great place to experiment. So I think, that's one of those things that it's like maybe eventually one day.
Not right now.
But we've seen time and time again that our players are happiest when we focus on our core modes and making our core modes better. And whenever we add one of these fun side modes, it's popular for a week or two, and then
that's it
at best. And then people go back to playing the core modes. When we know that we could be making core modes like, Conquest better, we know that we can be making Arena, improvements to
Assault,
the gods themselves, putting in the work that you would need to do one of those kind of silly fun modes. It just probably isn't the right way to use our time and effort right now. I think also those, just speaking on a personal level, I'm not as much of a fan of those modes as some people are. They just feel so disconnected from the rest of the game. Like,
are we just? I guess which modes specifically? Because
there's a League of Legends version and there's a Deadlock version and there's it says the way you.
Are you just saying like the you go crazy?
You go crazy with random power ups. I think is kind of what they're saying. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's also something we probably could add. It's just we'd have to do it on one of our current maps. We couldn't do any really big changes there for it. It's something that maybe we could deploy it for a little bit, but it's just it kind of feels like we're spending time in the wrong place doing that. I agree with you, where it's
I agree.
Because I was kind of wondering if part of that ask was older maps, right? And it's that's a significant amount of work. That's a lot of work. But for fun modes, we probably could do it, but it's kind of hard to justify spending that time out of like actually just making Conquest better or
again, ROI.
What are your thoughts on TTK and the low TTK posts?
I did see at least, I think I saw like 3 of them.
Time to kill.
I saw one that was like a video. It's TTK is like always just a really complicated thing, right? I think one of them in particular, there was like one post that was like a video of several gods doing like one shots on a Neath bot, and that feels very misrepresentative of actual gameplay to me. Because it's like it's a build nobody runs, because to pull it off you have to combat blink into melee range of somebody, and you will probably die doing that. Or at least at a decent level of play. That's probably just going to kill you most of the time. So I think that's a bit exaggerated. I think there is some... I'm not saying there's no...
And the bots don't even move, dog.
Nope.
They just stand still there. Or you can just tell them to move like this in just one direction. Back and forth. At the same pace. There's no dynamic to it.
Nope.
The human element is not there. Like a human player is not going to move like the bots do.
Nope.
It's unrealistic.
The argument that like, oh, the TTK is too low. I think maybe it might be. We could try bringing things. There's a few reasons that I think that might be the case. I don't think we're against looking into TTK. I think a lot of people have the feeling that no gods are really tanky.
Me at the beginning. Now that they added the new, what was it called? Stats? They certainly feel more tankier. Not to the degree that I would like, though. Still better than nothing. Better than before, where you just get one-shotted no matter what. It was lame, man. It was boring. I can't play. I can't do ish.
Nope.
I can't be useful.
So we want to try and figure out that problem. But I do think, to some extent, if I am a late game full build major assassin and I get a full kit drop on a squish, that should be pretty devastating to that squishy.
That should probably kill the squishy. Like, that's kind of the way that rule should work, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of the game is positioning and vision in a MOBA, right? Yeah. And vision is one of the things that Smite players consistently have struggled with.
They don't even use the wards!
Nope.
All right, before I get into this, I need to hit the restroom. I'll be right back. We back. My brother is hungry, so I got myself a snack. Boom, oats and yogurt right here. Holy moly. Okay. Talking about vision here.
The way that role should work, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of the game is positioning and vision in a MOBA, right? Yeah. And vision is one of the things that Smite players consistently have struggled with.
True. 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 People don't use wards.
Nope.
They think they're above using wards. They think only the support should ward. They think it's either useless or they're ignorant and they don't know how to use them.
Nope.
They don't know where to place them.
Nope.
They don't care about using them.
Nope.
They think it's just a waste. Unnecessary. And then they get got. And so they decided to implement the shard system to alleviate this issue. So they were generous enough to provide everybody with one shard, a ward shard. Not as powerful as a regular ward, and certainly not as powerful as a sentry ward, right? Still a little ward for free that you do not have to buy.
Nope.
You just wait for the cooldown to expire and you can use it again for free. And guess what? People still don't use them. Still refuse to use them. I think everybody should ward. Everybody needs to ward. Wards win games. Having intel on the enemy's movements at all times will lead you to victory faster than not warding at all and not knowing anything about anyone being anywhere at any time. That's just me, though. I think it's everybody's job. Just like when you're out in the real world and you're working. Who's in charge of safety, huh? Everybody. Everybody is in charge of safety. Making sure you're safe, your peers are safe, your work area is safe. Everybody is in charge of safety. Not just the safety manager or the safety person or the medic. It's everybody. Right? Who's in charge of warding? Everybody is in charge of warding. Not just the frontliner. Not just the jungler, even if it's rare that I see a jungler ever ward. Not just them, though, because they're out here roaming around and they can ward choke points more accessibly than any other character, right? It's everybody. You got to ward for yourself and ward for the team. That's how you end up winning. That's how you prevent deaths. That's how you remove frustration factors from a gank. Everybody is in charge of warding. Let's see what they say.
Since the beginning of Smite, they do not use their free wards. They do not buy wards. You know, it's
true, my man. He said it succinctly and concise. Free wards, they don't use them. They don't buy wards. They certainly don't buy sentries.
Nope.
They just choose to lose. And then they flame everybody. Everybody else. Oh, it's not my fault. It's not my fault y'all are garbage or trash. It's not my fault that I get ganked all the time. Ninja. At what point is it your fault, huh? Or is it ever your fault? Probably not, because all you do is just push accountability and blame everywhere except for yourself. When that's where you should start. Always start with yourself. Where did I go wrong? What mistake did I make? How did my decision impact the end result of my own death or the team losing? Take care of your own backyard and everything else will resolve itself.
It's kind of a thing of these roles should have their strengths, and when the role's strength is burst damage and they're hitting a squishy target like full on their kit, they should probably be doing full health damage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That I agree with. Mm-hmm. High burst single target characters, when they face off against a squishy, you take them out, right? What I don't agree with is when they can do that to every other character in the game. Like, how am I, as a frontline support, getting one-shotted when I'm not a squishy?
Nope.
And the DPS propagandists and junglers will say, oh, that's how it should be. Maybe. Like the severe delusional ones will say that ish. The real junglers that know what's what and know how the game should be played, they're like, yeah, that's not right. That shouldn't be fair. But you know what? I'm still going to be a part of it. Because, hey, that's my role, which I understand. I respect, right? Just like they'll say the propagandists, they'll excuse me, they'll also say, oh, front lines are too tanky now. Brother, no, we have not been. We've taken one step toward being tanky. One. Y'all ran laps with your excuse me, your DPS going haywire. When we take one step towards being tanky and actually being able to survive your insane burst damage, and you're saying, oh, they're too tanky now, it takes forever to kill them, and blah blah blah. More player hating BS coming out their mouth. No, man. Hey man, my job is to be tanky. My job is to be there for 11 years, tanking, frontlining, being a nuisance to you mofos, right? I should not be the first one to go down.
Nope.
On a team fight, right? And if I'm tankier, good. That's better for me, better for my team, right? And better for your team too, because your frontline is going to be more useful when he's alive a lot longer. Right? So then by that token, you should also respect that, right? Or accept it.
Late game, right? So I think the problem is more when nobody feels that they can be tanky. Everybody feels they need to be playing a damage character to do that burst damage. Yes, I agree with that. I do think that is something we need to look at more, and it's something we want to look at more. Mm-hmm. It's just, I don't know. It's a sort of complicated thing to talk about, right? Yeah. Because it's like, it depends on, TTK itself is just going to be different between different characters, mm-hmm. different builds, different targets, like different game scenarios. Like you're never going to have a consistent, this is what the TTK is in the game, because mm-hmm. it's going to be very different saying, here's a full build, this character has built everything they can tanky versus somebody who's like just a no item level 20. Like that's just a very different scenario in itself.
Yep.
So yeah, I do agree. TTK might be low overall. I think there's a few reasons. I think there's a lot of different interconnected things, so that probably need to be looked at. But I do think when we're talking like squishy versus squishy, I think you do kind of have to expect that if you're out of position, it's late game. You're fighting an assassin that's a high burst assassin. That's their job. Their job is to find you out of position and kill you really fast.
Happened to me many times since playtest today.
Yep. So they're just doing their job. That's it. You should expect it. You're out of position. It's your fault. It's your fault. Literally, it's your fault. How is it the enemy jungler's fault? You were the one that got picked. You were the one that's out of position. You are the wounded deer. Or about to be wounded deer. Or not the wounded one. Well, I mean, in some scenarios you could be if you're like low health and you still continue to push. Or you stray from the team, the pack. You're like a newborn calf that strayed away. Easy pickings, man. Easy.
So I was playing a game that I don't play, or I was playing a game that I don't play that often in playtest today because we were testing something, and I was like caught out of position quite a lot and dead in late game. Yeah. Game should end. Yeah, that's one of the things that is important, right? Like in a MOBA,
nobody. I think nobody wants to have these like 40+ minute games.
Nope.
Nobody. I think 30 to 40 minutes is a sweet spot. At 30 minutes, like everybody should be at level 20, right? You should be getting some big objectives and starting the ball rolling toward endgame and finishing. 40+ minutes, I'm just like, why is this game not over? Why are we still here? When will this game end? Will it ever even end? If I get to like an hour, which I have, I'm just like, oh. I've been here for an hour. I may lose. And I probably stopped having fun half an hour ago. I just want the game to end. At this point, I don't care if we win or lose. If we win, it's still a giant waste of time. It was a giant pain. An unnecessary pain to go through in order to get this victory. If we lose, they're like, oh, I just spent an hour. And I lost. There's no winning, man.
Nope.
There's no winning when those super long, drawn-out games.
Like a game without a fixed time duration, there needs to be an end to the game.
Yeah, that is just for like the pros, man. Because they're out there playing at a super, super high level. So if games go that long, it's because they've been exciting throughout the whole duration, right? They've had excellent back and forth. Bam, 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 bam. You're gonna win. No, we stop you. Now we're gonna win. And bam, no, we stop you. Bam, bam. It's an excellent back and forth. The only reason those games should go that long. Non-pros and just the casuals.
Nope.
No reason why those games should go on forever. None.
Yeah. There has to come a point where people can kill each other easily. Or someone who's a very, very fed hyper carry can take down the people he needs to. I do agree. So like, I think there's this idea that like if I've built very tanky, I should be able to be in the fight and CCing people, and it's like, yeah, I agree. Sure. I think if you're in that role and you're not feeling like you can ever do that, yeah, that's a problem. We need to look into it. But I also think when we're talking hyper late game scenarios, you probably shouldn't feel like you are a complete god tank either. Yeah. So there's should be like a sweet spot of we're hitting late game, we're not quite there yet, where you feel crazy tanky. But eventually someone needs to be able to kill you. Yes.
I just don't want it to be instantly. You know, make them work for it. Have it take a while. Because otherwise, I would have just played a squishy if I was going to die instantly anyways, right?
I had one, and then chat started talking quickly, and I lost my spot. There are people asking about the current state of penetration and any thoughts about a rework. We're actually meeting more later today to talk about penetration and some of the other kind of perceived core issues with the game. So don't have too much of an update beyond that, but we are aware of the sentiment, and we're looking more into some of these bigger core issues. So
yeah, there's a lot of reasons we've had to hold off on penetration as a topic. It is a lot more complicated than I think people think.
Yes.
Probably.
And I don't think, because I think a lot of people are just like, well, Smite 1 had a system that I felt tanky in, so why is it not just the Smite 1 system? Yeah. And I think Smite 1 had a lot of different considerations. I don't think flat pen is a perfect solution right now. I think a lot of people think it might be, but I don't think it is. The flat pen, there's a lot of reasons why we didn't want to introduce it just across all items.
Yep.
I think, yes, that made power curves different, and I think that's an important thing we should probably try and get back. But again, we have to talk about this on a deeper level, because there's a lot more when it comes to defenses and penetration, that it's like a whole huge topic. But I think ideally we want to get to a spot where your
Caps, my guy. He says "but" a lot, which is not a good thing, because everything after the "but" gets negated, right? So, comrade, I would encourage you to expand your vocabulary, introduce different words into your statements, in your sentences, so you're not saying "but" all the time. Similar to people who say like, those common speech. See, I'm doing it right now. Look at that. Those common speech tropes or mistakes that people make and introduce into their vocabulary. So he needs to remove saying "but" a lot. Say something different, or stop and pause. Let that statement stand and sit. And then boom. And while that pause is happening, you think about the next thing you're going to say. Bam. And you say it. It's a little speech. Excuse me. Speech class. Positive constructive criticism. There we go. I said it again. There's things he may not even be aware of it.
Nope.
He may not even be aware of it until it's pointed out. Right? So, I can pick it out easily because I'm aware. I try my best to be aware about the words I am speaking and not including all those unnecessary pauses. I just did it again. Like, but, those are I think the three main filler words people use whenever they're thinking about what to say next. So he may not even be aware of it. Hence why pointing it out. Now he has the ability to change that. Right? Because if he's unaware and he doesn't know, how is he going to improve? No one tells him. Trying to be helpful here, using it as a teaching lesson. You know, not to harp on him.
Nope.
Or roast him. Oops.
Nope.
Or bag on him.
Nope.
I just want to be helpful here. Help him improve.
Power curve isn't just like, oh, I got an item and now suddenly I'm doing way more damage because I bought the only pen item I need for the whole game. I think, yes, that's probably an issue we need to solve. So,
And if you have filler words that you use in your vocabulary, now you have been made aware of through my example with him. Now you don't have to rely on someone else pointing it out for you. Now you can go back, self-analyze, and you can catch yourself saying these filler words. And once you do that, you can reduce the amount of times you use those filler words. Or remove them completely from your vocabulary, use them only when necessary, and your speaking skills will improve. Just a little tidbit there for you all. He just said Once you notice it, you can't unnotice it. If you really want to improve. If you don't care or give a F, it just fly over your head, in one ear, right out the other. Shout out to Cage the Elephant. And you'll forget.
How are you feeling about lifesteal in the game currently?
We need Aussie. That's what I feel.
If you don't have a strong feeling about it right now, you don't have to. There was a couple people asking about lifesteal things, and I was just general lifesteal thoughts.
I think lifesteal is pretty good, but yeah, I think that's also tied in with our healing changes, right? Yeah. I think lifesteal is pretty strong because I think where our healing changes left us, and intentionally so, the intent was Smite 1, all of our healers, like out of combat healing was enormous. But when you got into combat, you just didn't heal because everybody put 80% to 100% anti-heal on you. Like there was a lot of it. There's a lot of anti-heal that's good. The items were also good. So you always wanted to buy them if there was ever a healer on the enemy team because it didn't even hurt your build much. But if you didn't buy it, they just out-healed the hell out of you because their healing was so high because they're out of combat healing so high. So the overall healing changes took that down, removed anti-heal, and now anti-heal's back at 25%. But where we are ultimately left is if a character had 80% anti-heal on them, like in Smite, like if you took the same scenario, so Afro's fighting you and uses her 3. Before, she would heal very little. But when you guys broke up, disengaged, and she used it, she's healing a lot of health. Yeah. Now, when she's fighting you, she heals a bit more than she used to in that fight. But when she backs up, she's not healing anywhere near as much. Like she's healing way less. So sustaining that poke is hard, which I think is part of why poke is like so strong right now. Is because I think overall across the board, a lot of sustain is heavily gone because it's all in favor of in combat sustain right now. I guess I'm getting in a very, very long rant here, aren't I?
Yeah, no, it's good. I do that every show.
Go for it, guys.
For my rants.
But yeah, I think lifesteal, part of the reason it's so good is because lifesteal is in combat healing, right? Like that's what it is. Yeah. So when that's slightly better, lifesteal's better. So it's that, right? I think if you just add more anti-heal to fight lifesteal, the problem is you're just hitting healing a lot, and healing is already not great. So you already have sustain problems, which is why like HPS is good sustain right now. Yeah. But like if I Mulan to a wave, I'm not healing nearly as much as I used to, so I can't sustain poke from like a ranged character much anymore. Like everything's interconnected, right? Everything is interconnected.
It's a very complicated system of a MOBA where you touch one thing and 5 other things change. So.
Yeah, so that's why it's like we want to have this discussion to make things, to change a lot of things, but I think there's like this. Well, all change. We should make very gradual changes to this, and it's like the problem is if we do one change without context, without anything else around it changing, it's probably going to cause a problem.
Yeah, most likely.
So we have to make a bigger sweeping change, but a bigger sweeping change is also going to come with upsetting everything. So yeah, we're talking about how we can solve things like this as well. So
do you have a 1-word teaser for Bastet Aspect?
Cats.
I suck at these.
Okay.
I'm so
probably
bad
cats.
at doing 1-word teasers, man.
Yeah.
Last time you asked me for Obwatch, and I was like, I don't know, zombie, spirit,
Body.
Yeah. It works. It works.
Bodies.
Cats doesn't really cover it because
cats
cats is her base kit.
Yeah.
Damn. Dang it. Dang nabbit. Well, I guess I was wrong, y'all. That was too obvious. Too obvious. I got the low-hanging fruit, I admit. I admit it. I went for the low-hanging fruit and I got it. This is without me even knowing or having an inkling of what's to come on her aspect. What do you even change? Or how would you even change it?
I can just give it away, or give away one of the big changes.
No! Don't do it!
Yeah.
I don't know.
Say I don't know.
You could say
TBD.
it's like, I don't know.
TBD.
Like, kind of like maybe retro, but not really. Like there's a throwback in there. Something people might like.
TBD.
I think people think the current kid is a throwback.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
So anything I say, I feel like gives away what the aspect is, like fully.
Don't do it. Just say TBD.
Which I mean, maybe that's okay.
No.
I don't know.
It's too early. We gotta wait for next week.
I don't know.
I was just gonna move on.
This week. No, next week.
I was just gonna leave people hanging.
Never mind.
It's gonna be good. You'll find out about it.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Stay away
don't
from
know.
it.
I don't know, man. I guess.
I
don't like how oats just get stuck like in the middle of your mouth. Quite vexing.
Let's see.
Does that happen to y'all?
It's possum.
It's possum. That's pretty good.
That doesn't really tell you anything, but sure, possum.
She turns into a possum?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
She's actually the goddess of possums now.
Yeah. My 1-year-old, his favorite stuffed animal is like a possum stuffed animal that he got at the nature center, and it's just like the creepiest little looking thing.
Those things
Possums are ugly, man.
And he's just like pot, and he's snuggling it. I'm like, oh my god, dude! I wish you would have picked something cuter, but he loves the little.
Am I the only one who thinks that? Yo, possums, creepy looking, they ugly. It's like, ugh, ew. I get the ick, like instantly. Holy moly! Who thinks possums are cute? Maybe if you draw them like, what's the word? The little chibi. Maybe a chibi possum could be cute. That's about it. Every other kind of possum out there, fugly. In my opinion.
Pot. Anyway, sorry. How do you feel about Hussar's wings? It was OP when it was buffed to be perma immune to slows, but then we made it expensive. Are there any looks that make it more viable for a cheaper price, or do you like it having the niche of being immune to slows for a high price?
Yeah, I like it where it is.
Yeah, I kind of do too. But...
I think it's fine to have items that do something really crazy but are basically luxury.
Yeah.
I'm very ahead, this game has gone on so long, I can afford a very, very powerful effect. And I think that's one of those.
We need a divine rapier one day kind of thing. I think that's one of my favorite MOBA items. The just like the bucket of massive power that when I get killed, it drops, kind of the way our dagger works.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Interesting. That'd be cool. It just keeps growing and growing and growing.
Blanked out, being able to track if people are in game, how hard would it be to implement that into the friends list? It's not hard, but it's hard for the reason that all of our friends list stuff, we did not build our friends list tab. Our friends list tab came to Smite 2 as part of Rally Here. So it was part of our, we have kind of like a sister company that's part of Hi-Rez, but kind of not part of Hi-Rez, that makes this multiplayer backend system called Rally Here that was used by Rogue Company. Was used by DKO. It's been used by some third-party games that are in development that haven't been released yet. But
Divine Tactics, perhaps?
Some of our screens are Rally Here default screens, basically. So we did not build our friend screen. Our friend screen is the Rally Here screen with some changes. And because we didn't build it, it's harder for us to go in and make changes because we don't understand it as well, if that makes sense. It's just whenever you are like, I need to pick up a new piece of tech that I haven't worked with before, it takes longer to make changes to it. It's one of those things that I do want to do, though. I think that we need to update the Friends tab to have more information about what your friends are actually doing. I think that, we do need out-of-game messaging so that you can message people who are in games, be like, hey, do you want to play with me after this one? So they know to wait. There's a lot of things around that kind of all go together. Not that they'll all ship at the same time, because we don't hold features to have every piece of it done. We just, are more willing to ship things bit by bit. I think the feedback is valid. That's a thing that we need to get in there.
Yeah, I think all of us want things like that. We all want the out of game chat. We all want the friends list to have a bigger update. It's more of we need time and
pragmatic
UI, like the UI team, to have some time to dig into it more. And they've been doing a whole lot of other things too. So.
Well, it's 2 p.m., so it's time for
one more question. Damn, already?
Thanks for watching.
That's fast.
I'll be back
my
on
gosh,
Monday.
2 hours.
I don't know what we're going to do on Monday. I'll be here, though. So
Money day, that's
chat.
today. Pay your rents.
And let's see.
Pay off your credit cards, too, if you already didn't.
There are a couple people asking about kind of just like the coin economy, the market coin economy. We feel like the market coin economy is in a pretty good place right now. There are some people, one of the people is complaining that the daily and weekly chests are too costly for people that don't earn a lot of coins. Over the long run, those chests are not quite break even in terms of market coins, but you get a lot of other stuff, and you get back I don't remember the exact math. I remember when I did it, but it's like 70 to 80% of the coins that you put in, you will get back as rewards. So it's not; those aren't actually that big of a sink on your coin coins that are in your pocket. The pace that people move through the boosted levels, the amount of coins they get, we feel like does let you work through things at a pretty good pace. That in every game ever, people want things faster, right? And then when they get through the thing, there's frequently complaints about well, there's nothing else to get, right?
Yeah.
We've been through this in all of our games.
Once you reach the end, now what?
Think that we're close to a good spot with the coin economy for markets. Is there maybe still a little bit of tweaking that we could do? Sure. But I think that we're in the right ballpark. You should have to play a little bit to get the things that you want.
Yep.
And
put some skin in the game.
I think it's a reasonable amount right now.
Yeah, I think that's a problem with like every game. I think you see that in MMOs too.
Yeah,
they want it for free.
Want to move quickly and get their gear as fast as they can.
I have to tell you a story about the one I'm playing right now. It's just like there was a silly change that was made, and now everybody's complaining about it and want more silly changes. So
yeah, it's one of those like it's that. It's the we want to get to where we want to get to very quickly, but then once we're there, we're like, okay, well, I'm here now, and now I don't want to do anything. And it's like, okay, well, I think that's just a problem in general with that kind of thing.
Yep. You want to pick a quick one? Or it can be a long one.
I saw one.
I'm not trying to rush you.
Manny, what question will you answer? Hey, yo, Manny. Oh, dude, he doesn't even have an iPad here pointed at him.
Nope.
Poor Manny. He doesn't even know what question to pick out from.
Nope.
Sorry, Manny. You won't get to answer a question this week.
Nope.
Of what is Austin's favorite type of bread? Why would I know that?
Maybe pumpernickel? I don't know.
But
Sesame seed.
Are we considering bringing back other Smite 1 items?
Warlock
I think
staff.
that is something
E-staff, actually. E-staff. Bring back E-staff. Bring back Bulwark of Hope. Bring back Warlock staff. What else? It's another great item. Bring back Flameforged hammer. Bring back Frostbound hammer.
We've looked at, but it's also one of those things where, like, I think if we bring back a Smite 1 item, people are expecting it to function kind of like it did in Smite 1, right? Mm-hmm. So it's a bit harder when you look at the item list there.
Like, we want them back.
Like that. Because there's some items that we probably don't want to bring back, right?
No!
Like, I think, like, a lot of aura items are like this. Where, like, aura items just became a thing where, like, the support just has to buy all of them, and then they follow your team around, and you all have a passive bonus, right? So if we were to bring something like Sovereignty back, it's like, well, we'd have to bring it back with the aura, because if we don't, people are going to be like, that's not Sovereignty.
Yep.
It's that kind of thing. So we have looked at a few Smite 1 items and thought they might be cool to bring back in some way. Some of them just wouldn't function in Smite. Like, there's an item that removes your CDR cap. That just wouldn't
Sphinx's
work.
bubble.
So yeah, it's one of those things where, like, we're looking.
Yeah, the Sphinx's bubble. It is currently right now, the icon for it is Sphere of Negacion. That one.
We've definitely discussed some items we could probably bring back.
At first, it removed, you could overcap on CDR. Then they limited it to, what, like 60, I think, %. Then they decreased it to 50.
But it's a bit complicated when it comes to, like, I think player expectations when you bring an item back are it should work like the Smite 1.
Yeah, like, why doesn't Midgardian have movement speed slow?
That's one of them. And it's like, we intentionally brought it out. I think it's still thematically Midgardian, but yeah,
if you'd made it into an active item, then it would have been, you would have been right on the money. I'll have to disagree with you there on that point right there, Caps.
So,
all right, chatters. Well, thank you for watching today. We'll be back on Monday. Have a great...
No question for you, Kilgoon? What? Dang it. All right, that's it then.
Great weekend. Hopefully you have something fun planned. And we will see you on the battleground of the gods. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, yo, Peach it. Let's go. Great show once again. Filled with information and opportunities for us to learn and improve. Not many changes happening, though. Very, very small in items. They did say that, though. Mostly God changes. I like the chalk and the Odin changes. Let's go back here.
He's up for it.
Pele nerf. I don't really play her that much, so I mean, okay, I'm okay with it. Puch nerf, that sucks. I just started playing him. What else do we have here? Kabrakan nerf, good. I like it. Dude does way too much damage consistently in a short duration. Cerberus nerf, I'm not really a Serbi player.
Nope.
So really not too impacted on that. Sorry, RIP Serby mains. Chalk buff and Odin buff. I play those guys a lot. I am for it. I like it. Interesting how his new pseudo mystical male 2 is gonna turn out. And I do like this dampening effect. Chalk is gonna get on his 3. Kali nerfs. I understand. Kali does Kali, man. Kali can turn the tide of battle by herself. Quite literally can carry a fucking team on her back. Kukulkan Zephyr, a little bit more damage. I'm okay with that. I play him from time to time, here and there. Onesie, twosie, here's and there skis. Ratatasker fix, that's good. Can't be triple dashing the same target without them being able to counterplay you.
Nope.
So I understand that and I accept it. Mana Regen on Leather Cowl, that's cool, and Hunter's Cowl too. And then Staff of Cosmic Horror got excuse me. Holy moly. Finally got to sneeze, man. Finally. And then Staff of Cosmic Horror got a buff. It's a fix that turns out to be a buff. I'm okay with that. I don't really use that item as it is.
Nope.
So I'll accept the changes. No, that's it, man. Pretty short patch update. Yo, that's it for today, you guys. Short stream. I got ish to do, errands to run, things to work on. Take care of yourselves. Be sure to exercise. Drink plenty of water and stay hydrated. Eat healthy, nutritious meals. Get plenty of rest and sleep. Don't discard your cardio. Honor your rest days. Shout out to the live game, replay game watching it's in the future. And of course, Alert Squad. Thank you to the chatters returning and new. It was a privilege and a pleasure serving you all. Until we meet again. Take care, everybody. Peace.